Alright, this is a video showing you how to correctly record measurements, and we're going to talk a little bit about significant figures. So in example 1, you've got the close-up of a ruler, and you hear in the background my husband playing with the dog Winston. Sorry. The first thing you need to do is figure out what it measures to. So when you look at this, you see the larger marks that tell you 6 centimeters and 7 centimeters. So the big marks are going up by 1. However, there are these smaller marks in between. So if you count them, this would be like 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. So this would be 6.5. Okay. So the smallest increment is going up by 1/10. So this actually measures to the 10th. Now, you estimate the next place value, the next smaller place value. So we would estimate the hundredths place. And this isn't my normal stylus that I write with, so my handwriting's not looking so great. But anyway. So when we say estimate to the hundredths, that means that when you record your measurement, you must have a digit in the hundredths place. That should be the last digit in your measurement. So when we look at this, let's say, we'll draw a little line up. It's almost not quite to 6.8. So I'm going to record that as 6.7. And here's where your estimation comes in. I'm going to say that it's 6.78. But we have to have that digit showing in the hundredths place because the device goes all the way down to the tenths of a centimeter, so we have to estimate the hundredths. Now on this ruler, this is a much less precise ruler. The only increment you see on here is going up by 1s. So this measures to the 1s. So we have to estimate the next smaller place. So that would be the tenths. So that means that this measurement must have 1 digit in the tenths place. So this looks like a little bit more than a half to me. So I would put that as 2.6 centimeters. You wouldn't want to go any farther than that because then you're overestimating beyond the capabilities of your device. Alright, so we move over to the thermometer, and this one trips people up sometimes. You see the big mark was 20, there's a halfway, and then 30. So the big halfway mark is 25. So if you count, that's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So this is going up by 1. So then we are going to estimate the tenths. So it looks to me like our reading is right on 30. So we can't just write 30, we have to write 30.0 because we have to have a digit in the tenths place. Even if that digit is 0, we have to show that estimated digit. Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording so I can scroll the page down. And like magic, your screen has changed. So let's look at this beaker. Beakers do not usually start with their smallest increment. This one, the first line is 20, but let's look to see what's actually happening. So you've got these larger lines that seem to be going up by 20s, but then we've got one that's halfway. So this would be like 30, that's 40, 50. So this is going up by 10s. So it measures to the 10s. So then we estimate the next smaller place value, so that would be the 1s. So the smallest digit, or the last digit in your measurement, should be in the 1s place. So we know it's at least 50. Halfway looks to be about right there. So I'm going to estimate this to be 56 milliliters. And you would not put anything smaller than that. You wouldn't need a decimal point. like 56.0 because then you're overestimating. Okay. Now on this one, I put the 11.5 there because on the test, several students for some reason had a hard time reading that particular one. Not sure why. But this one, if that halfway is 11.5, that means like this is 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4. It's going up by tenths of a milliliter. So then we're going to estimate the next place value over, getting smaller, the hundredths place. So for this, we know that it's at least 11.5, and then the digit after the 5 is open to your interpretation. On a test, I would take 11.55 to 11.58. Alright, and our last beaker picture, this one's a little bit more obvious that it's going up by 100. So this one only measures to the 100s. So that means we're estimating the tens. So for this, a valid measurement would be like 310. I would accept 311 if this was a test question. And you don't want to put a decimal behind the 0 because then you're making the last digit significant. And you're saying that the last digit was your estimated digit, and it's not. Your estimated digit was the tens place. So all of the measurements for this would have to be like 310, 320, 340, 350, 360, and so on. All of them would end in 0. Okay. So hopefully that has cleared up a little bit of the confusion with recording valid measurements. Good night.